Well, hey folks, Fat Guy Flies RC. All right, we're gonna take up the 80mm FREEWING F9F-8 Cougar. I think it's a F9F-8 Cougar. Have a little bit of fun. Run a 5900 SMC version 2 high velocity pack, high voltage pack, and I'll have some fun with her. Now she is absolutely filthy from the last time I flew her, and I landed in the morning, got her on the grass. Well, I don't like flying in the mornings because everything's so wet, but after this flight, she'll be very clean because it'll blow all that off of there. Unfortunately with this one, I have the FREEWING afterburner, not the KM models. And I need to get around to changing that. Up, down, right, left, up, right, left, up, down, right, left. Okay, everything works. I've already cycled the gear back at the bench. Let's take it up. 3.5 minutes, I'm gonna fly on mid rates, I think. And have some fun with her. Well, I'll go to high rates for taxiing. But we'll brakes off. Okay. All right. Timer set over. Okay, takeoff flaps. If I remember right, yeah, you don't need to use takeoff flaps for this thing. It's like the Intruder. I think it takes off pretty well on its own. Yeah. I haven't flown this plane in a little while.
Time remaining 3 minutes.
Take it up. All right. Really no elevator input needed for inverted.
Time remaining 2 minutes. Gear down. Landing flaps. Landing flaps. Flaps up.
Yeah, so I need my flaps.
Landing flaps. Braking. 1 minute. Brakes off.
All right.
Flaps up.
Gotta turn around here. Take off one more time. That wind has shifted. Now it's more out of the south. than out of the east, so it's getting to be more of a cross runway.
High rates.
All right, we're gonna go back to high rates then. I think I'm gonna like high rates better.
Takeoff flaps.
All right.
Flaps up. 30 seconds. Landing flaps. 20 seconds. Braking. Brakes off.
Yeah, high rates are better. Next time I fly it,
Expired.
I'm gonna fly it without the tanks on. This crosswind is making it a little wonky. All right,
Executed.
6 seconds over on a, I think 3.5 minute timer. Yeah, 3.5 minutes, so 3 minutes and 36 seconds. Let's see what kind of juice we have left in the tank. Yeah. 55% left. By golly, I'm going up again. One more time. That's why I love these high voltage packs. They just absolutely they last longer. These say SMC packs, you get more flight time, they last longer, better performance. Of course, you do pay 30% more for them. All right.
Takeoff flaps.
Take off one more time.
Motor on.
All right. Take the tanks off. Okay. Let me go in there and see if I can mechanically get that nose a little better steering, a little tighter of a turn. All right, just a real quick up and down. All right, here we go. Takeoff flaps. Try takeoff flaps anyway.
Flaps up. Gear up. Time remaining 3 minutes. Gear down.
Have my gear start coming down. All right, I can see that my gear is down.
Landing flaps. Braking.
Whoa.
Brakes off.
That's definitely wonky. That crosswind. Hey, cut to your right and look. Show them the flags I'm dealing with. That's directly crosswind. And
Flaps up.
got me some wing scrapes that time.
Prop secured.
All right, flew for basically another minute. Let's see what kind of juice is in the tank now. What kind of gas is left in the tank? All right, 36%. That's right what I wanted, 36%. That's a perfect storage rate. All right, well, there you go, folks. Well, back in the man cave or the man cave studio, we'll talk about all that, but a lot of that got blown off there, except what's still just stuck on there. And folks, I want to tell you, remember with these kind of planes here that have these quick connect wings, the pins have to go out towards the front, towards the back. If not, your wing will slide off, and then you're going to have a very expensive lawn dart and a very bad day. So as you see your foam plane go crash into the ground and piece of the wing floating off the other direction, make sure that these are locked in. If they're not locked in, don't fly, okay? If you got to, do that test there. Now then you're in good shape. All right, well, there you go, folks. That is the F9F-8 Cougar, right? F9F-8 Cougar from FREEWING 80mm, their super scale series, and I absolutely love this plane. It's like a big football. Now the whole body is a lifting body, so that's why you get pretty good flight time. Set your timer for 4 minutes, put a 5,000 in there, fly the way you want. All right, y'all have a good one. We'll see you back in the man cave. God is good, and don't forget, faith, family, and friends, jets, and let's keep them in the air, folks. Bye, y'all. Well, hey folks, this is Fat Guy Flies RC coming to you from the man cave, and this is the FREEWING F9F-8 Cougar. All right, went out today, I got a flight in with. I don't know if we got once or twice. I think we only flew once, but the wind started really kicking up from the south, which was directly across the runway, and I was having to make some wonky landings, and started getting some wing strikes trying to keep her straight on the runway. And I just said, you know what, it was about time to go anyways. Let's just go ahead and shut it down and get on out of here. But I'll tell you what, this is one fun flying football because it's kind of like a big pod. The whole body is a lifting body, so it makes you actually quite efficient on the batteries. You can put, I had my timer set for 3.5 minutes, but I've found after flying, really, honestly, 4 minutes is good. Fly the way you want and with a 5,000 and you won't have any issues. All right, let's talk about some of the features of the plane. Obviously, it has these quick connects. All you do is you pull these 2 pins in, okay, slide the wing off, and you have that ribbon that has those teeth. They only work one way, okay? And then make sure when you plug them back in that both these pins, this one's going towards the front, the nose of the plane, this is going to the rear of the plane. Okay, otherwise your wing will come off and you'll have a very bad day. All right, she got lights all over. This is part of their super scale. The first couple of times I took off, I left the tanks on, and then with a cross breeze, she'd get a little wonky, so I took the tanks off, but they just magnet on and magnet off, so it's no big deal. If it's a rather calm day, I'll leave the tanks on. I really don't know much flight performance difference as far as her speed and agility. It's just with a cross breeze, the tanks do create a little bit of a vacuum underneath there and will make her fly a little funky. Not bad though. I mean, it's controllable. I could have left them on. To show you my setup inside, I have a 7-channel Lemon RX Gen 2 right there. And then I got a satellite link down and going around the front. You can't really see it because the battery's in the way. There's my placement. I put the 5,000 with the end tucked just underneath there, and then that right to there. Okay, that's where my placement to get good CG. Let's talk about the CG for just a minute. I think it might be on the plane actually. Let's see if it's actually written on the wing. And yes, it is. So I don't know the numbers. It'll be in the description of the video, but it's actually, I don't take the time usually to write the numbers on the wing, because if I have it actually physically embossed on the wing, then I don't need to do that. But it's on the wing, so let's go ahead and feel for the CG marks. Which were right there. Okay, and she's pretty good right there. All right, let's talk about the rates. Obviously, I have a Lemon RX, so I don't have Spectrum. Okay, but I like Spectrum. Got the nice suspension gear on here. I started off with my mid rates and flying, and then towards the end, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go to high rates, and I like the high rates better, so I'm gonna share the high rates with you. Ailerons, 100%, 30% expo. Elevator, 100%, 30% expo. Rudder, 80% with 30% expo. Now my mid rates Let me just go ahead and share them to you.
Mid-rate.
90/30 on ailerons. Elevator, 90/30 expo on elevator. And rudder, 75% with 30% expo. Pretty predictable rates. Now the flap system, there's no mix needed with this plane. Okay. Flaps up on Spectrum are a negative 100%. Takeoff are a negative 70%. You really can't see it though, can you? Are a negative 70%. And landing flaps is a negative 30%. And there's no flap to elevator mix needed, which is really cool. Okay. Some of the features, obviously we've already talked about the quick connect. Have a nice plastic nose on the front, so you can easily stand her in the corner, you know, on like that for storage if you wish. Very stable plane. You got these wing fences here. Keeps this plane, you know, locked in. I know that's an overly used phrase. 7-channel Lemon RX is fine for this. She has thrust reversing. And I don't have the KM model afterburner in this one. I have the FREEWING brand, and which is okay. Nowhere near as bright as the KM model ones, but and I know this plane doesn't actually have an afterburner in real life, but it's my plane. And I will always go for orientation and coolness value over scale any day. Now, I have removed these outer doors that would normally attach to the side and close. I've removed them because they got caught in the grass so many times I got tired of repairing them and replacing them. But these I never had a problem with, which is weird because they hang down lower, but the ones on the outside of the gear caught on the grass. Now this is all metal here. All this little structure here, this is all metal. Okay, all scale. Take a look at this gear go up and down.
Gear up.
They take a little while. Yeah, but you can see I had those covers there and they just never lasted for some reason, so I just do without them. It would clean it up if I was to finally attach them again, but I got tired of doing it.
Down.
Just pay attention to how that, how long that takes. Alrighty. Well, there you go, folks. That is the F9F-8 Cougar from FREEWING. It is a great flying plane, very efficient. The whole thing is a lifting body. I do need to give it a clear coat. I haven't done that yet. I do need to do that with this thing. It would really help protect the foam. All right, folks, so y'all have a good, God bless y'all, and don't forget, faith, family, and friends, let's keep them in the air, and that's the Cougar. Bye, y'all.